Okay, that's good. So that's number 4. Number 5 is asking which formula can be used to describe the following sequence here. So I have this following sequence. I have negative 3, 3/5, negative 3 over 25, 3 over 125, negative 3 over 625, and I'm given 4 kind of functions here. So I have here f of x equals negative 3 times 1 over 5, x minus to the power of x minus 1. B here states f of x equals, this is negative 3 times negative 1 over 5, x minus 1. C here is f of x equals negative 1 over 5 times 3, x minus 1. And finally, D here is f of x would equal, this would be negative 1 over 5 times negative 3 over x minus 1 here. So basically what we would do is we actually just sub our formula, sub our function here for all the terms to figure out if x here equals 1 and x equals 2 here, right? So for negative 3 here, I would sub this value in for f of x to figure out my x kind of values here. But if you look at the pattern here, I have negative 3, 3/5, negative 3 over 25, 3 1/25, and negative 3 over 625, right? As you can see, it's negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, which means my signs are changing. Therefore, it has to include some type of negative number in my solution here. And all of these contain a negative solution, which is great. What it also contains here, as you can see, the denominators here are also decreasing by a factor of 5, right? So it's negative 3 and then 3/5 and then 325, 3 over 125, and 6, and then negative 3 times 6 over 25, which means C and D cannot be my answers because my base here is 1/5, right? Again, these are all dividing. I'm taking it to a factor of 1 over 5. So therefore, C and D here are incorrect answers. And we just care about these two answers here. As you can see here, B here would also be my incorrect answer because I have 2 negatives here instead of 1 negative here. 2 negatives would make it positive here, which means the signs would not change. Therefore, A here is my correct answer. And as they said, B here is my correct answer here. So let me just double check. Did I write this down properly? Negative 3 times negative 1 over 5x, the negative 1 here. Sorry, just give me a second here. Let's see how they did it here. So again, they're subbing in the solution here, which is good. 3/5 equals negative 3 times negative 1 over 5. We have a pattern here on the nth term given the formula, and therefore B is the correct answer. So let me just check A and B here actually for my sake here, just to make sure we got the correct answer. So I'm going to I'll sub in for B first actually and see what they're doing here. So B here, I have negative 3 equals negative 3 times negative 1 over 5, x minus 1. What we can do is we can divide both sides by negative 3 here to get this is 1 is negative 1 over 5 times x minus 1 here. We could take the log of both sides to bring the x minus 1 down. Or what we can do is we can actually just do the first term. We can actually, instead of doing this here and solving for x here, I'm going to assume that the x is linear. It has to increase linearly from 0, 1, and then so forth, right? So let me do the first term here would be 1. If x here equals 1, I guess I'm doing this for B. If x equals 1 in this case, I would have negative 1 over 5 here to the power of 0, which was equals 1. So therefore, this term would equal negative 3. So this here is correct. If I did the same thing for this one here, if I put 1 here, 1/5 to the power of 0 is again negative 1. It would be 1/5. And then I would also have negative 3. Would I have negative 3 as my value? So here is x equals 1. 1/5 to the power of 0 is 1 here, and this would also equal negative 3. This one would be positive 3 actually. Hold up. So B is actually not the correct answer here. So this solution here is wrong. And the reason why is that if they plugged in x equals 1 here, x equals 1 here, I can do negative 1 over 5 to the power of 1 minus 1 is 0. Here would give me, oh no, it still give me a 1 here. So this is still negative 3 actually. So actually this is still correct. I forgot that anything to the power of 0 is simply 1. So that's my fault here. So, which means these two solutions are correct. So that I would have to basically move on to x equals 2 to figure out whether A is correct or B is correct here. So x equals 2 would give me negative 3 times 1/5 to the power of 2 minus 1 here. Negative 3 times 1/5 to the power of 1 here. And then we get negative 3 times 1/5, so it would be negative 3 over 5 instead of positive 3 over 5 here. So which means A here is wrong and B here is correct. So this is my fault, sorry. So A here is wrong and B here is correct here. So simply if I subbed in 2 here, I would get 3/5 and not negative 3/5, because this would give me negative 3/5, which is not in the series here. Whereas if I plugged in 2 minus 1 here, negative 3 would give me negative 1 over 5 to the power of 1, which is simply, this would actually be negative 3 times negative 1 over 5, which would give me positive 3/5 here, which does belong to my series here. So B here is the correct answer. My fault. Sorry about this. So their solution here is correct. Good analysis here.